What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, in the NBA today, we saw a matchup of the two best teams in the Eastern Conference as the Boston Celtics going into this game, the defending NBA champion, 42 and 17. I believe they were hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have the best record in the NBA, 48 and 10 going into tonight's contest. And it looked like Boston was going to put the absolute beat down on the Cavaliers, jumping out to a 25-3 lead. And Jason Tatum dropped 30 points in the first half alone, or what looked to be a beatdown. But as we have seen countless times before in this season, the Cleveland Cavaliers have a lot of fight in them, and they have come back from huge deficits to win, or even in their losses, for the most part, make a game of it. And they did just that. They got back into this game with their defense and with their free-flowing, efficient offense. In particular, Donovan Mitchell got hot, whereas Tatum did a lot of his damage early. He still finished with, I believe, 46 points. But Tatum was not nearly as efficient in the second half. Donovan Mitchell came alive. He dropped 41 points for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Boston just sort of ran out of gas. The Cavaliers outscored Boston 28-18 in the fourth quarter. And that was the decisive margin. And the Cavaliers get a big victory on the road, 123-116. They finished now with a record of 49-10. They're one victory away from 50 wins. And here we are, just about to get into the first days of March. This is a remarkable run this Cavaliers team is on. And by the way, the Cavaliers now have a 22-6 road record. So they're 22-6 on the road, and let's see, 27-4 at home. The Boston Celtics now fall to 18-11 at home, and they are 24-7 on the road. So for some reason, Boston does not have the advantage that most teams have at home. I don't know what that could be, but whatever the case, it's not that good. As I said before, Jason Tatum had 46 points, shot 19 of 37 from the floor, but he was only 4 of 12 from downtown, 4 or 5 from the line. He did have 16 rebounds and 9 assists, three blocks. Jaylen Brown had 37 points on 13 of 24 shooting, 4 of 6 from three-point range, 7 of 10 at the line. And excuse me. Jesus, I've been up for a while. The only other Celtic at double figures was Derek White, 16 points, 5 of 12 from the floor, 4 of 10 from three-point range. And for the Cavaliers, they had 5 players in double figures. Evan Mobley, 17 points, 12 rebounds. He was 2 of 5 from three-point range. Jared Allen, 10 points, 4 rebounds, and he was 4 of 4 from the floor. Darius Garland had 20 points, didn't shoot that well from the floor. Now 23 from the floor, only 2 of 7 from downtown. Did have 7 assists. As I said, Donovan Mitchell had 41 points on 13 of 26 from the floor, 5 of 13 from three-point range, 10 of 11 from the free throw line, and also DeAndre Hunter to pick up from the Atlanta Hawks. 12 points, 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 3 from 3-point range. Amazing shooting from DeAndre Hunter. And look, this is my take on this. I think, if I remember correctly, I might be missing some games here. I think the Cavaliers had another game this season where they came back from a deficit to beat Boston. I don't think it was a 20-point deficit, but I think it was another game they gave up a deficit to beat Boston. So I think they're 2-1 against Boston. Because someone could correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I think they're 2-1. I've never been sold on Boston because last year, even though they didn't get a lot of flack for it, they had a pretty easy path to a championship. Every team that they played in the playoffs had significant injuries. Okay, and when they played Cleveland last year in the playoffs, Cleveland had injuries, and then ultimately they were without Jared Allen, if I remember correctly, and then they lost Donovan Mitchell down the stretch, and they still got a game against them. So, now this is a fully arsenaled, fully loaded Cleveland Cavalier team. Now, if Boston's able to run the gambit in a Eastern Conference that's much more competitive and deeper, if they're able to repeat, then I will take back all of my criticism for the Celtics. But I just haven't been convinced that these guys are this great, great team. Now, look, you could argue that Jason Tatum doesn't get the respect he deserves, but Jason Tatum isn't the only star on his team. Jaylen Brown's also the star on his team. That kind of annoys me, too, how the media tries to make it all about Jason Tatum, but they conveniently try to ignore Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think I have a guess as to why that is, but that's content that belongs more on the Patreon for why I feel that's the case. But look, it is what it is. Salute to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their remarkable run continues. They're at 49-10. And tell me what you guys think.